Rumours are swirling that the Glazers at Man United may now not sell United after Avram Glazer appeared at Wembley on Sunday for the Carabao Cup win. John is now talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. And I have to say, Alex, a very good morning. I was thinking about this. The way United are going now, why would you sell?
Crookie, good morning.
Good morning, Al. Well, you're preaching to the converted in some respects, because I have had a fear and a concern. I've voiced it on talkSPORT all along that maybe this is a bit of a smokescreen on behalf of the Glazer family. You look at the valuation they've placed on the football club, in excess of £6 billion. Obviously, the two definitive offers that we know about from Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the British multi-billionaire, the boyhood Manchester United fan, and Sheikh Yassin bin Hamad Al Thani, the chairman of the Qatari bank QIB, both a lot lower than that £6 billion valuation. I think both their bids take into account the historic debt that they would be inheriting if they bought the football club, and indeed the fact that Old Trafford is in major need of surgery.
Gary Neville's told us that, and he thinks the new training ground, new ground, it's going to be fortunes.
Yeah, it's going to cost an awful lot of money to improve both those facilities. So that was the first red flag for me. The second, I think, if you look at the scenes of celebration at Wembley at the weekend, Manchester United winning their first trophy in 6 years, Avram Glazer was right at the heart of those celebrations, big beaming smile across his face. Didn't look like an owner who was willing to sell anytime soon. And then you've got the fact that for the first time in more than 10 years, they've just announced season ticket prices will be increased next season. If you're selling the football club, do you care how much a ticket is going to cost under the new regime? So I think there are some big red flags. That soft deadline imposed by the Rain Bank passed a couple of weeks ago now. It's been definitely quiet in terms of the next step of the process, which would be handing over the accounts, a period of due diligence for those interested parties. So, yeah, at the moment, I think Manchester United fans are probably right to be concerned about the future ownership. We know there are a couple of hedge funds who are interested, one from America and another, I think, from Switzerland that emerged in the last 24 hours. If either of those offers were accepted, that would allow the Glazers to keep partial control of the football club. At this stage, you could say that maybe that is a more likely outcome.
Alex, before Gabby comes in, just I read in the paper this morning, there's a bit of an argument going on about West Ham tickets and United's tickets for tonight's tie at Old Trafford. Prices have gone up, I think, haven't they?
Well, I won't beat Manchester United too much when it comes to ticket prices, because I think they're really competitive. If you compare them to a lot of the more elite clubs in the Premier League, Manchester United is just about the cheapest place to watch football from those sort of stellar names. So
West Ham not paying £45 a ticket, I think, whereas if it was Premier League, it'd be 30.
Yeah. Well, this is where the FA Cup, obviously, clubs get to determine their own prices. That does seem steep for West Ham fans. Going up to Old Trafford on a Wednesday night, particularly with the cost of living situation that's happening around the country. But as I say, Manchester United fans have got a lot of complaints against the Glazers. Historically, the cost of tickets hasn't necessarily been one of them.
If the Glazers are in charge still of the club come the summer, Crookie, they need to spend, don't they? Because Manchester United aren't far off, are they? They need a striker. For me, I'll go out and get Harry Kane. Wherever he costs, go out and get him. They're just missing that sharp number 9. Weghorst is not the answer. Do you think they will do that come the summer if they're still ownership of the club?
Well, I think you're right. A number 9 is top of Erik Ten Hag's shopping list, because Anthony Martial just simply can't stay fit, injured again for tonight. Weghorst is a willing worker, isn't he? But just doesn't look like he's going to score goals at this level. Victor Osimhen is another player that they admire, but that would take a big money bid, maybe a world record bid, to get him out of Napoli. The issue that Manchester United have got, whoever owns the football club, is they're quite close to the FFP line because they haven't been great sellers. The fact that Phil Jones is still a Manchester United player probably is the biggest emblem of that. But they've got players they will want to move on this summer. I think Harry Maguire basically said at the weekend that maybe his future will lie elsewhere. I think they would be open to offers for the likes of Scott McTominay as well. But you look at the Harry Maguire case, they paid £80 million. They're not going to get anywhere near that back for him. So therefore, that goes down as a loss on the balance sheet. That isn't a great scenario in terms of FFP. Having said that, I do think there will be funds there to go out and buy that centre forward, but maybe not much beyond that.
Alex, just a quickie, please. I've got to go over to the cricket. The latest in Ivan Toney. I'm reading today that a ban is imminent. It worries me, this rule, because you just get someone else to put your bet on. Look, I know rules are rules, but it'd be a great shame if this fella does get banned and misses England chances again.
Well, I think he will miss his England chances. Whether or not the ban will come through in time, for that squad to be announced for the qualifiers next month, I don't see a scenario where Gareth Southgate picks him anyway with this hanging over his head. I think it's unlikely that Gareth Southgate's decision not to take him in the World Cup wasn't in any way influenced by these betting charges. Brentford are preparing themselves for a lengthy ban. So too is Ivan Toney. More than 200 breaches, as we know.
How long
he hasn't necessarily admitted all of those charges, but he's admitted a significant amount. If you look at Joey Barton, all right, there were 1,200 charges for him, but he was banned for 18 months initially. Kieran Trippier got a 10-week ban for a handful of charges. I think the punishment for Toney probably will be somewhere in the middle, but I think we can assume his season will be over once that punishment is dished out.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.